Have you ever thought about what the future holds for our planet? Now, imagine a map. Not just any map, but a chilling forecast of disaster. A visual prediction of what could happen if we continue down this path unchecked. Today, we're diving deep into what's known as Indonesia's 2040 Doomsday Map, a projection based on scientific data, secret risk assessments, and early warnings that may have been ignored. Indonesia, a country of lush rainforests, rich biodiversity, and vibrant culture, is at a crossroads. What this map reveals could impact millions. And it's not fiction. It's the future we're heading toward. The fragile beauty of Indonesia. Indonesia is breathtaking. With over 17,000 islands, it's home to ancient volcanoes, coral reefs, and a population of more than 270 million people. But its beauty hides a dangerous truth. It's one of the most disaster-prone nations on Earth. It lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire, a region notorious for earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Add to that the growing threat of climate change, rising sea levels, and extreme weather events, and the picture becomes far more urgent. This isn't about hypothetical dangers. It's about what could happen in your lifetime. Maybe even in the next 15 years. The 2040 Doomsday Map. The so-called 2040 Doomsday Map isn't science fiction. It's based on climate modeling, geological data, and projections from environmental research institutions, many of which rarely reach the public eye. So, what does it show? Jakarta, the capital, nearly submerged. Entire parts of North Java and South Sumatra underwater. Coastal regions like Bangka, Belitung, and parts of Kalimantan shrinking dramatically. Eastern Indonesia, battered by stronger cyclones and prolonged droughts. Volcanic hot zones showing increased likelihood of eruptions near populated areas. The map reveals more than just topography. It paints a picture of economic displacement, food insecurity, and mass migration. Breakdown of key threats. Let's break it down. 1. Rising sea levels. Jakarta is already sinking. In fact, it's one of the fastest sinking cities in the world. Scientists estimate that by 2040, up to 30% of Jakarta could be underwater. This isn't just due to climate change. Excessive groundwater extraction and poor infrastructure accelerate the crisis. Over 10 million people could be displaced. 2. Extreme weather patterns. Increased global temperatures mean heavier rains in some areas and severe droughts in others. Java and parts of Kalimantan are expected to face more frequent flash floods, destroying homes and disrupting farming. Meanwhile, eastern Indonesia could suffer water shortages, making it harder to grow food or maintain health systems. 3. Food and water security. Indonesia's agricultural zones, like Central Java and South Sulawesi, could face declining productivity due to soil salinity, flooding, and unpredictable rainfall. This could lead to food shortages and rising prices. Water sources like lakes, rivers, and aquifers are also at risk. Rising sea levels cause saltwater intrusion, making fresh water undrinkable. 4. Geological threats. Indonesia sits on 147 active volcanoes. Scientists believe climate-induced shifts in tectonic pressure may make earthquakes and eruptions more frequent. The map marks areas like Sumatra and Sulawesi with increasing seismic risk. Imagine trying to rebuild a community after a tsunami, only to face another disaster months later. Real-world example, Jakarta. Let's return to Jakarta. Already, the city floods regularly. Some residents experience flooding several times a year, not in rural areas, but in the capital city. Infrastructure struggles to cope. Drainage systems are overwhelmed. The government is already planning to relocate the capital to Nusantara in East Kalimantan. This move isn't just political. It's survival. Jakarta is becoming uninhabitable for millions, and the 2040 Doomsday Map confirms what many already fear. Without immediate action, parts of Indonesia's most important city may soon be lost to the sea. What can be done? So what do we do with this information? The good news is, the future isn't fixed. There's still time, but only if we act now. 1. Climate resilience: we need to invest in flood barriers, elevated housing, and disaster response systems. Coastal defenses and urban planning must be adapted to future risks, not just current needs. 2. Sustainable development: stopping deforestation, switching to renewable energy, and limiting carbon emissions are no longer idealistic goals, they're urgent needs. Entire ecosystems and the communities they support depend on it. 3. Relocation and reinforcement: some communities will have to move inland. Others will need massive infrastructure upgrades. This includes climate-smart agriculture, water conservation programs, and disaster education. 4. Research and data collection: more real-time data means better forecasting and earlier warning systems. We need to fund local researchers, not just rely on global institutions. Why this matters to you? You might be asking, why should I care? Because this isn't just about Indonesia. It's a warning for every coastal country, every vulnerable community, every person who depends on food, water, or weather. It's about learning from Indonesia's experience to prepare for your own. Even if you don't live in Southeast Asia, what happens there could disrupt global trade, migration patterns, tourism, and geopolitics. These risks ripple outward. Climate change is global. Its impact is local. And ignorance is no longer an option. Indonesia's 2040 Doomsday map is not prophecy. It's a projection, and projections can change if we choose to act. If this message moved you, don't let it end here. Talk about it. Share this video. Support local climate initiatives. Stay informed, stay prepared, and help others do the same. The future isn't written in stone. But if we ignore the signs, it might as well be. The choice is ours.